everybody. One word, TECA. That stands for Third Eye Craft Affair. That is an event. That is an exclusive event on Saturdays in Lansing at the Fledge. For those of you that know, you already know. For those of you that don't, that's what I'm here for. Let me break it down for you. So the Third Eye Craft Affair is a gray market event that is hosted once a month in Lansing at the Fledge. It usually runs from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. You got a 6-hour window to get your ass in there and find your goodies. You're going to have vendors with flour. You're going to have vendors with rosin. You're going to have vendors with edibles. You name it. There's even going to be things there that might not even be exactly cannabis, if you know what I'm saying. The next event coming up is Saturday, December 13th. It is the last event of the year. So if you're looking to check it out, you want to drop in, see what it's all about, come through on Saturday, December 13th. There's a lot of people in Michigan doing their thing, man. Lots of hash, like I say, lots of flour and good product that you will not be able to find in any shop that you go to. So if you're looking to find something that's a little more exclusive, a little more rare, get your hands on something that you can't get everywhere. For example, I'm gonna show you that right there. That's the greasy flowers. So you can find this man at TECA, Third Eye Craft Affair. And I'm gonna show you this little flyer real quick. That's just in case you ain't seen it online or you don't know. Google that on your phone. All right. Let me just read to you real quick what this has on there. As I mentioned to you, 12 to 6 p.m., Saturday, December 13th. This is at the Fledge at 1300 Eureka Street in Lansing, Michigan. Come celebrate the season with us at our final event of the year. We are pulling out all the stops to create a memorable experience for everyone to enjoy music from the Ganja Girls. We got Chef Serge, Juan Trevino, K. Layla. We got the Bass Owl, Nasty Nate. Can indulge in some delicious offerings from Ben's Island Grinds. When I go, there's usually a food truck or such outside. So if you come hungry, or say you get in there and you get lit and you got the munchies, then you can hop outside and grab you something to eat right there. So there's going to be a food truck outside. There's also a dab bar downstairs where you can sample much of the hash that's on display for sale, right? So if you're curious on purchasing a puck, you can run downstairs, check around on if they got that strain, which they likely will, and you can sample that before you even grab it. So that way you're confident in your purchase. It's pretty cool. Now, it's $20 at the door for an entry fee, or you can bring some canned goods for the holiday season. 4 canned goods is $10 with the canned goods. Yeah, it's up to you. Now, is that a downfall? Slightly, but obviously this event has to be sponsored and ran somehow. I think there's more that goes into it than people can see. So, with that said, there's an entry fee of $20, or like I say, you could bring 4 canned goods along with $10 and get your ass through the door. I want to mention a few vendors that stood out to me when I was there. One being Trichome Farmers ZZ Grows. That was a collaboration booth where ZZ Grows, obviously, that's the grower of the strains, and Trichome Farmer is the washer for the hash. I picked up some GMO root beer, fire hash, man. That was some nice hash. I did enjoy that. That was a nice, punchy, super strong effects on that I really enjoyed. The dab sweats, which hardly anything gives me the dab sweats. And the flavor was on point, just like it sounded. Root beer, GMO, the sarsaparilla, the cream, the funk. You know, that shit was solid. That's some good rosin, you know. Shout out to the Four Wise Eyes as well. As I grabbed some of their shit. I grabbed that Indiana bubblegum from those guys. Grabbed some Lachlan Farms. I saw Spin Melts there. Quite a few rosin vendors. I'm going to say about 25 altogether for rosin. And then for flour, probably 20 or so for flour. You know, but there's enough selection there. I might be wrong there. Because I say it on any given weekend, you're going to have more or less depending on who shows up. So that's all a give or take, I would say, on what vendors will be there and what you'll have access to when you are there. I got cotton mouth, folks. Excuse me. I'm on about 300 milligrams of RSO and some hash rosin dabs at the moment. Yeah, I stay on that shit. The flour's kind of like my favorite shit, but when I'm looking to go to bed and rest and relax, you know, it's going to be some rosin and some RSO for sure to really get settled in and chilling. But anyways, back to this TECA. Many that ask, what is that? That the word goes around in Michigan, TECA, right? It's Third Eye Craft Affair. And as I've been saying, it is a gray market event with everything that you can find in the dispensary, you're going to find here. Some of it may be at a higher quality level. Some may not. Price point could also be higher or lower, depending. I'm just making this video so that you can get a little grasp of what it is. And if you think you want to go, check it out. I would say go check it out. It's worth it, you know. So yeah, it's a cool thing. And they've been having this going for a while. I want to say this has been an ongoing thing for some years now. And it just needs a little more light, I think, shined on it to bring people through. And as you know, folks, here in Michigan at least, for those of you that are local here in this state, you know that we have this tax that's coming on January 1st, right? So 24% is the tax, and none of us are certain of what that's going to look like or what our prices are going to be. And, you know, what your haul, say you're not a Michigan person and you're coming from all these surrounding states, people come and drop $1,000+ every trip. So if you're the person dropping $1,000 or more every trip, you know, your taxes may be hefty, or your typical haul of what you used to get for the 1,000 may not be the same. That may have changed up, you know, what it looks like come after January 1st, you know. And I mention that because there's the legal side and the rec side, as we know, and then there's still a whole gray market, black market, and a whole nother world of people who still do this shit, you know, myself included, who are here. We've never left. You know, we're very passionate people. We love what we do, and we're providing a premium product that's produced on a small scale. And I think that's important to mention. It is important to mention, because if you're wanting a product that is a lot of detail, attention to, you know, where someone's really focused on that product, and it's not just being pushed out cycle after cycle, or, you know, massive batches of hash, a 10,000 gram batch of hash rosin, and you want true small batch, and people that are honed in on their craft because it is smaller. There's not a major team. There's not 50,000 plus square feet. It's small, and it's what we came from. It's kind of what the market used to be pre-rec. Okay? So if you're missing that and you're interested, or that's just where you'd like to support and have your dollars go, TECA's somewhere you can come, you know. There's also the Hareem, which is the hash rules everything around me. You know, we have those here. There's many events outside of the rec market that you can support a local Michigander and someone who's been in this game and doing this, putting in the work, you know. I think that's important. You know, we all love this plant. It shouldn't only be those that went and got a license or were able to grab an investor or such, or actually be a businessman. That shouldn't be the only people who have a chance to have their product be seen, right? Or have their brand be known. So everyone that got the license, obviously, and jumped in that world, everyone's able to compete, have a billboard, be in a store, you name it, right? So there has to be a place for others also to thrive and do their thing. And that's where the TECA comes from. You know, so salute to the two fellas that started this, you know, and everybody that's involved with the Third Eye Craft Affair. You know, it's something that's needed, and that, like I say, it allows people to shine a little bit and thrive in their world. Because like I say, we all love this plant. You can't take that away, the love of the plant and wanting to have a part of it and be a part of this, you know. So that's also why this video's out here. So I'm gonna put this out there for people to, you know, gain a little knowledge on what TECA is, and, you know, pique your interest to go check it out, you know, and support somebody locally. There's some good shit there, man. There's also, like I said, I mentioned the dab bar, but there's also some of the vendors will allow you to just try the product right as you're standing there, you know. There's the DJs, which the music's always pumping out. That's cool. You can smoke and roll up. So there's tables everywhere. Downstairs, upstairs. There's 2 levels to this thing. So you can roll up and smoke. You can dab and do your thing. You know, I just brought my Dr. Dabber with me. My Switch 2. Got that bitch on Dab the Halls mode right now. The holiday theme. Anyway, you can smoke. You can dab. You can do your thing. You know, you can feel free there. That's what's pretty cool about it as well. It's a very welcoming vibe. Kind of like a lot of love in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe that I feel like what cannabis maybe say used to be too. More of it. It's not to say that it doesn't exist at a rec or legal event, but you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of love there and shit, you know, especially the love for the plant. There's a lot of organic growers, a lot of soil, and shit that you know, sun grown, at least for the last event, because we're in the time that we're in. We had Croptober, so you got a lot of sun grown hash rosin, and for some of the sun grown that's actually quality sun grown, that's gonna be some solid hash. You know, if you've ever had hash from California or sun-grown flower in California, you know that's some of the better flower. Terp-wise, may not be the prettiest, but it ain't about looks, as we know, folks. This shit's about the terps, you know? That's ultimately what we're all after, so. Anyway, TECA, Third Eye Craft Affair, baby. I hope I piqued your interest, like I say, and that you go check it out. I'm gonna hold this up in your face one more time. Third Eye Craft Affair. It's coming Saturday, December 13th. That's very soon. So we're sitting on Tuesday right now. You know, that's right around the corner. Saturday. So get your rigs ready. Get your rolling fingers ready. You know what I'm saying? Twist up. Come on out to Lansing. You know, I can't promise we're going to bump into each other or not. But, yeah, man. That's where it's at. Lansing, the Fledge, 12 to 6. $20 entry fee, $10 with 4 canned goods. You know, trying to support the canned drive. So, yeah, come on out, you know. Come on out, smoke good, get lit, spend that 6 hours of your Saturday. It's the last one of the year. And I cannot tell you who will be there. But I will say, as the flyer mentions here, that they're going to try to come hard with it, right? So you finding some fire hash rosin, some fire flower, whatever you're after, it's going to happen, right? So just, bring your happy face and your good vibes and a few Benjis, you know what I'm saying? Come on out. Enjoy yourself. Lansing, Michigan is the capital. The shit's right in the neighborhood, too. It's kind of close to downtown, but it sits in a neighborhood. It feels just chill. It's a pretty chill vibe, You ain't got to worry about it being some huge venue. It's got space in there and stuff, but it's not huge or anything. So, yeah, these come around once a month. So, get your ass over there. Check it out. Yup, be there, be square, man. You already know what's up. I'm going to turn these jams up. I hope y'all had a good year, man. I hope y'all had a good 2025. It's been a crazy year in a way, We've had a lot of different shit going on. Whether it's in this industry or just in America, in the world, you name it. It's been quite the year, I keep saying we're gonna roll up on 2030 before we know it. I'll shit you not. It's gonna be 2030, folks, before we know it. And then for some of us that's old enough, you already know how fast time flies. It's gonna be 2040. You know what I mean? So let's get it. Let's get better. Let's try to be better than we were yesterday. Let's try to be better than we were the year before. That's kind of the goal. If we're trying to further this plant, further the industry, that's what we got to do. That's part of it. That's human nature as well. So let's get at it. Y'all smoke good, stay up, treat each other well. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Leave a comment. Share it. Do what you got to do. Salute. Take care of yourself. Peace.